in the shadows way too long. You always thought that you were weak, but babe, you're wrong. Yeah, you better step into the light, just give it a try. Think that it's time you let that spark out. You've been hiding in the shadows way too long. And who cares if you might mess it up? You've been hiding in the shadows way too long. You always thought that you were weak, but babe, you're wrong. Yeah, you better step into the light, just give it a try. Think that it's time you let that spark out. You've been hiding in the shadows way too long. And who cares if you might mess it up? You're stronger than the others think. And who cares if you might mess it up?
And I just figured out what I did wrong, because I have my earplugs in and I heard the intro music double. And I'm like, what the hell am I doing? This is what happens when you keep the tab open and you don't realize that you actually still have YouTube open and you hear it double. Learned that lesson. It's been one of those days. And if you're here to hear about ClickUp bugs, you probably had just about a week as I had. As you can see, it is actually cappuccino day today. We are not having any alcohol. It's been crazy. Let me know in the comment section. Have you experienced any of the bugs that have been happening as of late? And as you intro music double and everything, it's been crazy. But I also want to know how far spread this was. So please do me the favor, jump into the comment section. I want to know if you have experienced these bugs lately or if you haven't been impacted. In the Vetted Consultant group, we have seen both, where people were like, I don't really see much. And then we had setups that went completely crazy. So with that, I wanted to talk bugs today. I wanted to talk about, we have gotten some feedback from ClickUp, what they're doing about it, what's being planned. I will read that off because there was a lot of that. But let's start in the beginning. Let's be honest. If you have experienced those bugs as of late, I don't care if it was an automation bug, if it was a dashboard bug, if it was anything, shit has quite hit the fan as of late. There is no way around it. Sorry guys. Again, I know my development team over there, they're working their asses off. They're trying to fix everything. But man, it's been a freaking shitstorm. I have spent so much time being customer support for my clients.
You've been hiding in the shadows way too long.
A single bug in just one workspace? Is it a big thing going on?
Always thought
Data
that
not
you were
coming
weak,
in,
but
data not
babe, you're
going out,
wrong.
automation not triggering, automation triggering
Yeah,
late.
you
Seriously, over the last
better
few
step
weeks,
into the
I
light,
was
just give
overwhelmed.
it a try. Think that it's time you let that spark
So
out.
jump in the comment section.
You've been hiding
Have
in
you
the shadows
been
way too long.
caught up in this whole
And
roller
who cares
coaster of
if
bugs,
you
or
might
have
mess
you
it
set
up?
up before?
You're stronger than the others think. And who cares
With
if
that,
you might mess
again, there
it
was a whole bunch of stuff happening,
And I
with
just figured out
resources
what I
not being
did
met,
wrong
so,
because I have my earplugs
automations
in and I
didn't trigger,
heard the
automations
intro
trigger,
music
flow, all of that
double.
fun stuff.
And I'm like,
And we've
what the hell am I
been-
doing?
So the whole
this is what
Reddit
happens when
consultant
you
group,
keep the
we've
tab
been busy
open
behind
and you
the
don't
scenes,
realize that you actually still have YouTube open.
supporting
and
the
you hear
bug
a double.
team to get shit back in order.
I learned that lesson.
To
It's been
get
one of
things
those days.
cleaned up,
And
if
it,
you're here
it was
to
to be
hear
about
about, let's be
ClickUp
honest,
bugs. You probably
there comes a
had
point
just
from
about
a startup
week as I
company
had.
going into growing up.
As you
I
can
can't
see,
call it anything else.
it is actually
With the funding
cappuccino
they've
day
gotten,
today,
with the growth they
we
have
are
gotten,
not
it was
having
to
any
be
alcohol.
expected that shit is gonna hit the fan at some point.
It's been crazy. Let me know in the comment
As you're gonna
section.
hear here in a
have
second when I
you
read that letter and I
experienced any
got
of
the
the
approval,
bugs
it's
that
public
have
knowledge,
been
I'm allowed to share all of that
happening as
information.
of late?
As you, they
intro
are
music
working
double
on
and
it. They are
everything.
cleaning
It's
up. They're
been
cleaning up
crazy.
infrastructure and all of
But
that.
I also want to know,
and as long
how
as
far
they keep
spread this
doing
was.
what
So
they say they are doing,
please
do me the favor.
they're gonna
Jump
get
into
their
the
butt out of
comment
it.
section.
But
I want to
believe
know
right
if
now
you have
is that
experienced
point
these
that's
bugs going to either way
lately,
make or break it.
or
You either way gonna be
if you
able
haven't
to
been
clean this
impacted.
up, build the infrastructure,
in the Reddit
clean
consultant
up the
group, we
coding,
have
clean up the
seen
bugs, do all
both
the things
where people were like,
or you
I
just
don't
really see much
and
and
then
continuously
we
staying a
had
startup
setups
rather than
that
becoming
went
a grown-up
completely
potential Fortune
crazy.
500, whatever it is.
So with that,
I wanted to talk.
Yes, I'm
bugs
finally
today.
getting to it.
We
wanted
have gotten
to
a message from
talk about. We have gotten
we
some
as
feedback
in the
from
Reddit consultant
ClickUp,
team have gotten
what
a
they're doing about it,
message
what's being
from
planned.
Zach
I will read
that
off because
updated
there was
us
a lot of that.
on what's
let's
happening
start in
behind
the
the
beginning.
scenes. And I
Let's
wanted
be
to
honest.
make sure
If you have
to
experienced
talk
those
about
bugs
it
so
as
that
of
you
late.
guys
I
hear
don't
too
care
what's
if
happening.
it was an automation bug,
What they are
if it
doing,
was
because,
a
again,
dashboard
we've
bug,
seen
if
bugs
it was
in
anything,
dashboards,
we've seen performance issues,
shit has
we've
quite
seen
hit the fan as
automations
of late.
issues, we've seen so many issues.
There's
Again, pop in
no
the
way
comment
around
section.
it.
I want
Sorry,
to hear,
guys.
did you run into
Again,
any
I
of
know
those
my
issues and what did you run
development
into?
team over there, they're working their asses off.
So
They're
with
trying
that,
to
there
fix
is a
everything,
lot
but
of different
man,
things that are
it's
going
been a
on. If
freaking
you have
shitstorm.
looked at the release,
I
notes,
have
they've
spent
slowed everything down
so much time
and really focused on
customer bug fixes my clients.
You've been hiding in the
instructions
shadows
about
way
just
too
a
long.
single bug in just one workspace.
And with
is
that,
a big thing going
they
on.
are aware.
Always
I'm
thought
not
that you were
I'm
weak,
not
but
telling them
baby,
what
you're
doing.
wrong.
Automation them anything new. Automation
That-
triggering
Yeah,
changes
you
in defensively over the last
better
few
step
weeks.
into the light. Just give it a try. Think that it's time you let that spark
So jump in
out.
the comment section.
You've been hiding in the shadows way too long.
And
Caught up
that
in this
has
whole
become
And who cares if you might miss it? You're stronger than others think. Who cares if you might miss
yeah,
it?
there was a whole bunch of stuff happening.
Then I
with
just
that
figured
some
out
sources
what I
not being
did
met,
was
so,
wrong because I
this
have my
kind of
earplugs
automations
in and I
didn't
heard
trigger.
the
I don't know
music
how
farther
far
ahead
that goes, how
And
much
I'm
more
like,
that is happening.
what the hell am I doing?
So the whole
This is what
Reddit
happens
calls
when
out to
you
the
keep
company
the
and is like,
tab
"You've been busy."
open.
My
and
words,
you don't
my words,
realize
not
that you
his words.
actually
I'm
still
only
have
putting words in
YouTube
his mouth.
open
Supporting
and
the
you hear
bug
a double.
team. It has become a priority, so they are working on it.
It's been
Get
one of
things
those days,
cleaned up,
and
if you're here
it was
to
to be
hear
about,
let's be
ClickUp
honest,
bugs.
which browser, what
There
are you
comes
using?
a point
Just
from
about
a startup
week as I
company
had.
going
Oh my God.
into
Are you
growing up.
As you
I
can
can't
see,
call it anything else.
it is
Are you
actually
just starting
with the
off?
funding
Day
they've gotten,
today,
with the growth they have gotten.
I'm
having
having
a
any
delay on that
comment
comment
section, I think.
Shit is gonna hit the fan at some point.
It's been crazy. Let me know in the comment
section
section.
here in a
Have
second when I
you
read that
experienced
letter and
any
got
of
the
the
approval,
bugs
it's
that
public
have
knowledge.
been
I'm allowed to share all of that information.
I wish.
So
let's jump in
they
the
are
comments
working
for
on
a
it.
for
They
a
are
second.
cleaning up.
Yeah,
They're cleaning up
crazy.
infrastructure.
I had double
and all
audio
that.
I also
And
want to
then
know
as long
as
which window I finally found
say
it.
they are doing.
Please do me the favor.
Get
Into
the
the
comment
no
section.
dancing
I wanna
today
know
simply
right
because
now
you have
is that me hearing
that's
double
gonna either
audio
way
and
mean
something
something
is going on and
either
what's
way
going
gonna
on
be
if you
able
haven't
to
been
clean
and
this
then
up, build
I
the infrastructure.
am I still playing through? God damn it.
No, you know what happened? Sorry guys, I had my iPad plugged in and I had it muted, but it unmuted itself when I switched. Yep, apparently I am joining the bug community and screwing everything up. Thank God for somebody finally telling me that I was still running double audio. Oh my God. Thanks guys. Thanks guys. Between you two. Yes. Sorry guys. Thank you for finally telling me, you two. I did not realize I had muted my iPad, which is running next to me, and it had unmuted itself when it moved into the next screen. And we are joining the shit show. But you know what that means? When you have a huge big storm coming through, that just means everything is getting cleaned up. Oh my God. With that, maybe I should have been drinking. This is live streaming. So, thanks guys. We finally have normal audio again. Oh my God, I can't believe I did that. Okay, now that we have normal audio again and I can breathe after I completely screwed everything up. First off, my guys and girls in the audience, you know the standard question, what are you drinking tonight? And the second one today is, did you run into any of those ClickUp bugs? I want to hear it. I can't believe I did double audio. Oh my God. Such a rookie move. See, even people that have been live streaming for 2 years still do rookie moves like this. Back to the topic. This is hilarious. You just gotta laugh about that. Maybe I should add a shot to this. Vibrant marketing, what are you drinking? We always, for these live shows, we always got to have a drink, but I want to know what you're drinking. So ClickUp is aware of the bugs. And as you just saw in my live stream, shit can happen. It is ones and zeros. They can go crazy. They can go south. Somebody clicks the wrong button and suddenly Twitter is down. We know it's technology. We know it's issue. The problem as of late has just been that it has been cascading. It has been adding up on each other. It felt, at some point, it felt like there is no light at the end of the horizon, let's be honest. But there is light, and I don't think it's a train. Again, as Zach said in his message, they are hyper aware. It is #1 priority. We have seen changes behind the scenes. We've really been digging in with the development team to try to figure out what's happening. One of the big issues with bug development is also figuring out what the hell actually causes it. I'm like, I stopped web design because I didn't want to deal with those issues, and this is like 10,000 times the kind of coding and all the stuff, right? So we know that. With that, what is ClickUp doing internally right now to take care of this stuff? First off, they do have a daily stand-up meeting with engineering, QA, product, and technical support, so that they are having a handle on the most pressing bugs and the biggest issues and the biggest downtimes to take care of them first. And dog, you missed the worst intro ever. I had double audio, triple, quadruple. I had my iPad plugged in, and we had double music, and we had Evie like multiple times coming in. It was hilarious. Perfect for a bug show to show that. And we all are at some point, right? We're just playing around. So they have daily meetings between those separate departments to really be able to keep an eye on and know exactly what is happening right now, where is it happening, how big are those issues that are happening, and how can they be yep, Evie the remix, how can they be fixed to stay up on all of that. As you've seen, feature releases have been way slowed down, which I've been saying for a month. I'm really happy about slowing down feature releases. Let's clean this shit up. Let's build a strong foundation, and then let's add more stuff to it. It's just like I'm preaching to you about adding automations to ClickUp. the more you put on it, you are just amplifying everything. You need to know your shit first before you automate it. And we need to have a strong structure and groundwork done within the coding, within the features that are existing right now, before we can add more to it. If there's small releases in between, like happened last week, and we'll talk about that here in a minute, that come along with those bug fixes, with cleaning up the structures, with doing all the things, I'm all for it. But can we stop just major releases, which we did? Let's focus on building strength in this. They also, I don't know if this department, if these people, if this team has existed before. We specifically in our Slack channel with the vetted consultant program have a handful of people that are really focused and on the forefront on taking care of these bugs, having that conversation between vetted consultants, because we are not just single users, we are not just quote simple users, but we have multiple clients, we have multiple setups that we are maintaining, we have multiple people we are working with, we have multiple workspaces that we are working with. We have a broader view than an everyday standard user, so they have really started to have that conversation with us to help us also fast track bugs that we have identified in our clients' workspaces, that we have identified through multiple workspaces, and really get a hand on this. So it's nice to finally have somebody or a small team in the company that works specifically with us and bug development and that team to get things taken care of. Now, internally, what actions have they been taking to get this taken care of, to work on this? We've been told by Zach they have made huge focus on scaling the engineering department with a lot more 10x developers, QA, and DevOps hires. So big hiring spree over there to be able to keep up with this without running your engineers into the ground. You can't expect people to work 24/7 and be able to code well when you are running them down. So the team is growing over there. They're getting the manpower needed to clean all of this up and do all the things. The support has been revamped, and I think they're still also optimizing things to, first of all, have a better experience with support. There were moments where it's like, did I submit something? Didn't I do something? So they're really working on the customer experience for support, for the technical support and all of that. His next point was the one that I already made, listening closely to the vetted consultant feedback, looking into use cases. That was one of the issues that I had a lot in the past when features are just getting thrown out there. They were features that was a badge on the wall or something, but we couldn't really use those in the most common use case scenarios. So development was more feature focused on somebody asked for this feature and somebody asked for that feature, rather than use case scenario focused. So what I mean by that is there is two ways of approaching this kind of stuff. There's feature focus of check email done, check automation done, check recurring done. Cool. But what do I do with that? And it really felt like when they were going through the Canny response and the request forms, there's also two ways of submitting a feature request, actually asking for a specific feature or asking for a specific use case scenario. And often enough, looking at the things that got released, I'm like, there is about 5,000 different use case scenarios that would be taken care of with one feature release, but you are paying attention to 5 feature releases that don't do shit. So that seems to be slowly changing, where the dev team, or which of the departments takes care of what is getting rolled out or fixed, really focuses more on use case scenarios, because that's how normal people talk, not nerds. A regular user comes in and says, I want to make this happen. I can't make this happen right now, but they don't necessarily know what specific feature they actually need. So getting the team to really understand better use case scenarios and figure out what feature is needed to make those happen seems to be happening now. Okay. Automation testing. Automations has been a big one. I have one major big client. It's a big company. And I was joking with them. I'm like, I feel like Nurse Ratched that constantly tells you no right now. They have about, I need to say a lie, 100 and something automations running. Small ones, big ones, applying templates, assigning tasks, all kinds of things are happening in there. Love this company. They are just as nerdy, amazing. They had to turn all of them off. Literally all of them off. Because automations were firing late, automations were firing not at all, they were firing wrong, whatever it is. So we've been told that they are doing serious automation testing so that they are firing right, they are firing fast, and they're firing at all. That the resources are there for that to really happen. Next point, again, was a long message. More intentional release cycles. In the past, we released features on a weekly cadence. This worked for a while, but bugs have caught up with us. We've put up a lot of guardrails around committing code to production, code reviews, QA checks, and ultimately just waiting if there are any concerns about code issues. So what that means in plain English, they've slowed down the release. They're testing once, they're testing twice, they're testing 3 times before they're pushing it to the ClickUp that we actually use. Yes, thank you. Cool. But again, it's like, the one thing that I want to make clear here, as much as I understand and as much as I'm also ranting, this is standard startup. What happens? You are pushing. You need to get out there. You need to release those features. You need to make people happy. You need to get people talking about it. And at some point, which is happening right now, you've got to grow up. They've hit this point. They became the unicorn. They've done all they needed to do to become that startup. Now it's time to grow up. And if they're implementing everything they're telling us they're implementing, if they're doing all the things, and if they're keeping up the work, they're going to grow up and everything is going to be just smooth and fine. They are also... Okay, so specific bug updates. This is now not just general what's happening in the company, but what's actually happening with all the bugs. What are they doing to fix all those things? I need a little bit of coffee. Cheers. I love me some cider. Okay, so they are specifically on bugs. They're establishing in-region automation servers. That means a reduction in the delay of automations. So think of it's the same thing as website load. If I'm calling a website here in the US, chances are it's going to load faster than when I'm loading it up from China. So that's where CDNs come in, that's where servers come in. If you have a little bit of knowledge behind that, you are running multiple servers. I don't know their structure behind the scenes. I'm literally just talking from web design, where you are running a temporary saving somewhere where it's a duplicate of it, where you have multiple servers, multiple pieces, all kinds of things. And the end goal is speeding things up. the faster those ones and zeros can run, and the shorter way they have to run, the faster shit can happen. So that's what they're doing. Task order indexing issue. So the drag and drop has not been working when it comes to task management. So we've been told this issue has been resolved, but impacted workspaces need to be migrated over to the new ordering infrastructure. So they're literally moving workspaces around, which you don't necessarily realize, except for it might slow down a little bit when they're moving you. We are fine-tuning the migration process to ensure it does not cause stability issues across the platform, and this will slowly fix every workspace affected. It will just take time. So pretty much what this means is they've built a new ordering structure and they're moving everything over there, which means your account needs to be moved, your data tables need to be moved, all of that information need to be moved, and they're doing that. Heck, I don't even want to move a damn website. But they're working on it. It's a work in progress. Notifications. The only notification crap that I had happening is in my notification inbox. The whole watcher is telling me that it assigned me. I'm like, can we finally take care of this? Anything else I haven't seen. So if you have experienced any notification stuff, let me know. But I also cut pretty much anything off. Notification, we believe we have found the root cause for not receiving browser notifications. I don't get browser notifications. That might be the thing. Our team is currently implementing and going through testing process. So the whole browser notification not happening should be fixed here soon too. And then delayed notifications on mobile. This was resolved over the weekend. When did I get that? This week. Yep. Was resolved over the weekend, and users impacted, but this bug should now be receiving the... Oh, yeah. So whoever had problems on their notifications on mobile should be getting notified through the system that it's been fixed. I'm losing my English. So, but mobile notifications is different than the regular notification stuff. So again, this has been quite a long list of things. They are working on it. They are cleaning things up. They are changing infrastructure. They're adding servers to it. I'm like, I don't even want to know how much growth ClickUp, how many new users ClickUp has gotten since all this publicity started, since the funding came in, and if the servers were even built for that and able to handle it. So yeah, it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting. Again, as I have said throughout the whole show of this, the whole length of the show, it's a question now. Where do you want to be? What do you want to be? Who do you want to be? That's like, you just hit 21. You are now a full adult. Who do you want to be? I personally have worked with a couple of the team members on fixing some things. There were the advantages of being a vetted consultant and working with a vetted consultant, and being friends with some of the people over there too, where it's like, okay, what's happening here? This doesn't make any sense. It's working over there, but it's not working over there. It's working when you do it in my account, but it's not working when I do it in my account. But if you're regular on my channel, you know how I always preach. It's all about data points. So there is not just the fixing of things. There's also the figuring out, what do I need to fix where? What's actually happening? And for that, you need to collect data points. You need to talk to the people where things are broken. You need to drill deep into, it's happening in this account. Does it happen with this user and that user, or is it just happening with this user? So getting all of those data points does take time. Today though, so I also have good news in all of this whole bug development and shit hitting the fan. This conversation has been going on since Tuesday or Monday even in our community. We got an update about a day ago telling us that, a little update to all the things that I just went through. That was a big update from Zach. Michael jumped in and let us also know that they have finished fine-tuning the migration process and workspaces are now being brought over to the new ordering infrastructure. Let's hope all good. If we are experiencing, submit the bug, because again, they need the okay for them to go into the account as well as being able to look at things. They need to get data. They can't just go off of an email. As well as, in addition, any users who previously reported this bug have been contacted via email, letting them know their workspace has already been fixed. So again, they're moving it over to that new ordering infrastructure and they are going by issue. What it's broken, let's move it over to that. When it's working right now, cool. So again, go through the bug support. I know it can be a pain in the butt, but that's the only way to get into the system to get yours looked at. Now finally to the good notes. One of our vetted consultants, I didn't get the okay to ask to name him by name, so I'm going to skip on that. He just did an advanced automation group training session. He just finished that this morning. And he was kind of dreading the session going into because he has to spend usually so much time explaining what's supposed to be happening instead of what actually is happening. Now, in his words, but everything worked like a dream. We used a bunch of different triggers, different templates, forms, recurring tasks, and not one single bug in 45 minutes. Which reiterates, reach out. When you are having issues, they are working on it. They are updating the infrastructure. They're doing the things. The only way to get your stuff fixed is submitting a bug report. Okay, that's it on bug updates. Because again, I didn't just want to keep that to us. I wanted to make sure that all of you know what's going on too. And the little gizmo, I love this little gizmo. Did you see it? Did you see it? I need to pull it up. I need to celebrate again. That little gizmo shows me and shows you when I have a new subscriber. I didn't have my Streamlabs open though. So I need to log in really fast so I can show you one more time. I love those. Little shout out to Dog Rock, who got me hooked on that. There you go. Right there. Look. Right there. Thanks for the subscription. And we had right at the beginning of the show, there was one too. Yes! And look, Brian too. That was also at the beginning of the show. Are you coming up? There you go. I'm having too much fun with this kind of stuff. It's way too much fun. Cool. We talked about the whole bug thing and all of that. There were some releases last week. So I'm guessing alongside with all of the bug development, because when I look at this is also stuff where there has been bug development happening and all those things. So let's pull it up. Let's see what's the new stuff we got. Look, I even got the screen open. Yay! We now can paste in bulk for label and drop down fields. Why is that important? I love this simply because now I can start laying things out, planning things out, and really just copy and paste those list of items. if you've seen my too much talking. If you've seen one of my latest videos, I followed Layla. I'm using Whimsical. Love that program. So much easier than all the other ones I always had. And with that, we are laying out the structure. We are building out the workflows. I'm like, I've been preaching this long enough. And now I don't have to single copy and paste or write things out. I easily can just grab the whole thing we developed and just paste it in. We already talked about the speed and performance improvements. Again, we had some performance issues this morning. Again, it should all be resolved. Now, what else do we have in here? I haven't even looked at this yet. This is kind of my first look as I used to do them. So, other improvements. Pre-fill time tracking. Pre-fill time when tracking time in range mode. Previously, when tracking time using range mode, only the start time would be pre-filled. Now the start time and the end times will auto-populate with the current time, allowing you to simply click and adjust. We have a range mode? Okay, learn something new. Drag and drop and sorting view. So long and farewell to the sorting view holding you back from rearranging tasks. Now you can quickly drag and drop tasks into different groups on lists and while sorting is enabled. Yeah, I just did that. Huh? Yeah, right. I wasn't able to do that. Huh. Funny, when you keep trying things, and suddenly they actually work. Then, what else do we have? Search custom fields and dashboard widgets. I honestly have to admit, I have not worked much in dashboards as of late, simply because we've had issues from pulling in information into dashboards and things not quite showing up as we thought they would. So I'm gonna have to play with that and see. Actually, I do have a dashboard video in the plan. Let me think. The next 4 weeks is gonna be straight up for all of my content creators out there. And then we are going into a little bit of dashboard and features and that fun stuff and looking at it. And yeah, there's, as you can see, a whole bunch. Due date. That was an automation. Yeah, whole bunch of automation issues, whole bunch of task issues fixed. Dragging and dropping. Yeah. That was an issue for my client, so that's nice. I didn't know. Unable to create custom fields in everything view. Had not run into that one. And sure, at that point, you're also going to have mobile issues at some point. Sweet. We have coming up. ClickUp for event planning, fund and finance operation, sales cycle. Cool. They're working on some stuff. So yeah, it is what it is. It is technology. Let's be honest. We had the conversation again. This all has been a big conversation in the vetted consultant group on and offline. And the thing is, it is software. It is software. There is humans behind this. I have not seen any software out there that never had any issue. And with the growth that ClickUp has gone through, with the funding that ClickUp has gone, with all the new users, all the new team, it was bound to happen. So all I can say is hang in there. No matter if it's ClickUp, no matter if it's users. Hang in there. It is a roller coaster right now. I'm hoping that they're sticking to everything they're saying. So far they have. I'm like, over the last 3 years, when they said they're going to do something, they did do it. I think they're on a great path of growing up. I don't have a better phrase to phrase it. Of growing up and turning this startup into a Fortune 500 company. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. We'll see. And just stick with it. I'm like, we've talked about, which one was that? I need to scroll back. There was one too, whatever. One of our vetted consultants used to use something else before, and it's still, how many years in, it still is a collection of bugs. So all we can ask for is ClickUp doing their work and implementing and doing all the things they have said they are doing. And if they are, we're gonna come out of this on the other side and all is going to be fine. I'm not worried about that. I'm just looking if there is anything else in here that I missed. Okay, that was me getting permission. Yeah. So with all of that in this amazing fun dual EV remix start of the show. Yeah. Shouldn't plug in the iPad and then not mute it, or switch scenes and then the iPad gets unmuted again. Gotta love it. With that, it's been a day, and I also have flight school tonight, working on getting my private pilot license, so I have another 3 hours of school tonight. We got you updated. You now know what ClickUp is doing, where they're taking it. They're taking the steps they need to take. I hope they can take them fast enough and good. I have seen improvements. I'm going to keep you updated next week on the live show. I have one client I'm working closely with right now, one big client, and we should get a specific update tomorrow. They're the ones that have about 120 easily automations running. Nah, more than that. I think he had even more than that, way more than that. I think you need to add a 0 on the end of that. Huge amount of automations going on in that space. And had to turn it all off. I mentioned it in the beginning of the show. And I should be getting some more information specifically from the dev team, specifically for that client tomorrow. So I might get a little bit more insight when it comes to automation triggering, testing, and all of that thing by next week. So go back to the main page, go hit the reminder. I already scheduled next week's live show. Next week without EV Remix. You're just gonna hear one of me. We're not gonna hear double. Which it also was muted. Why? Whatever. It is what it is. And with that, I'm keeping this show this week at about 45 minutes. Thanks for everyone joining me. Jump in the comment section. You know me. I'm always around. I'm always looking at the comment section too. And I will see you next week, hopefully with less tech issues, less bugs, and a little bit more bubbly. Bye.
Honey, I got what you want. Give me all of your love, 'cause it's burning